Hi, I'm Richard from the team at Tasting Britain, and today I'm going to be reviewing some chai tea drinks that have come from a small company based in London called Tuk Tuk Chai. I got sent these a couple of days ago. I actually requested them because I'm not really a lover of chai tea. I don't really get it. It's not been my sort of thing. But these had flavours that seemed quite appealing, and I thought it would be quite interesting to do a review of something that I'm not that keen on, to see if it can really sort of lift my view of chai tea. So Tuk Tuk Chai, there's something in this box, a little leaflet, tells you a little bit about their organisation. So this is a business that appears to be a husband and wife team. One of them has an Indian family background and went out to India to try and find the perfect recipe and bring it back to the UK. And they've created these. So these are the three flavours of chai tea that they've sent. You can have these hot or cold. I've decided to have them cold because I kind of like cold enriched milk drinks, and that's what I think these are. I don't think these are watery tea-based drinks. I mean, every single one of these has got 60% or above whole milk in them, so it's a proper kind of luxurious milk drink, and I've given each one of them a try. So if you can have a quick look at the packaging here, this is kind of really nicely done. It's all really uniform, so they're all saying they're all branded nicely. It looks really professional, sort of follows the kind of innocent smoothie line of look and feel. It's kind of fun and engaging. It stands out really well on the shelf. And the three flavours they've sent me are this green one here, which is cardamom. This one here is called Fiery Masala, which sounds quite spicy. And this one here is called Ginger. Now, I have tried all three of these now, and I suppose the first thing to say is that they're pretty rich, and in a good way, not a bad way. There's a lot of flavour coming out of them, but there's a lot of heavy milk in them, and it feels really creamy and sort of slightly decadent as a result of using whole milk rather than skimmed milk, because a lot of milk-based drinks tend to be based on at the moment to try and keep the fat content down. This does the opposite. It wants to make a drink that's really, really, as I said, kind of luxurious, really special, and kind of leave you with a lasting, comforting sense when you drink each of them. Now, I started with the cardamom one. I'm a really big fan of cardamom as a flavour, as a herb. I was a little bit worried that this might not go well, because cardamom used in excess can make things really soapy and overly flowery, but that's not the case here. They've got the levels just right of the milk and the cardamom and the sugar. And together it kind of brings out this really sweet, citrusy, floral flavour that just works in the background. It's really, really nice. And it's kind of refreshing when it's cold. It's thick enough and rich enough to be something that you will want to drink, not necessarily to refresh your palate, but to sort of feel the sense of the milk going down your throat. And the flavours in there are just beautiful. That's a really, really good balanced drink. This one is a bit more complicated. So Fiery Masala, and it's described as having this sort of unusual mix of 8 different spices. So you get the cardamom, but alongside that you also get cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, pepper, mace. You get the black tea, which is in all of these. You get cassia as well. And I thought all of those together would make a slightly salty, slightly savoury flavour to the sweetness of the sugar that not really balance out very well. This is great. This is almost like drinking a ras malai at an Indian curry house. It's got beautiful herbs and flavours coming through in it. Again, it's really rich and silky, but the complexity is very different to this. This is a one-trick pony. It's a really, really nice drink. It's full of cardamom in the right levels. This is a mishmash of some fantastic Indian spices, just works brilliantly together. It doesn't taste like any chai tea I've ever had before. And I really enjoyed this one. I think these two are fab. This one is the ginger one. Personally, I don't think the ginger works quite so well. It's very one-dimensional. You don't get a lot of complexity. After the other two, it feels like this is a little bit basic. It's like having the fire of ginger beer and the flavour of ginger beer, but mixed in with the whole milk. It doesn't quite work as well. If it were me, I would be drinking these two all day long. They are fantastic. I would highly, highly recommend trying them. They're lovely. If you're a lover of chai tea, it's going to be a slightly different experience because of the whole milk content. If you are not, and it's not your thing, try them anyway. I really don't do chai tea in coffee shops and tea shops, but this stuff I would drink all day long. Now, they're priced out at about £2.50 each. We don't know where they're going to be sold yet. They were launched very, very recently. I think £2.50 is slightly on the high side. I think you'd quite happily pay a couple of pounds for these. I think that puts them competitively in the right space as everything else on the market in the kind of enriched milk sector. I think £2.50 is pushing it a little bit, but if they can get it, then it's worth pricing it out at that. But I would say around about the £2 mark. If you see these on the shelves, I don't know where they're going to be sold, as I said, but I think they fit really well in a kind of Starbucks environment rather than a high street retail newsagent WH Smith environment. Do give them a try. I would start here with the Fiery Masala, which is brilliant. I would go to the cardamom as well, which is really, really tasty and just balances out the herbs beautifully. Unless you're a big fan of ginger, this probably isn't the one to start with. But have a go, enjoy them. And as I said, I think this company, Tuk Tuk Chai, should do really well. And I want to say thank you to them for sending them over. This is my true bias, unbiased and honest review, and I think these are great, and I think maybe leave this one on the side.